Joining me from the Ukrainian capital, Kyiv, is Ukraine's youngest ever member of parliament from President Zelensky's party. He is Sviatoslav Yurash. Sviatoslav Yurash, thank you so much for joining me. What is the mood now in Kyiv? Are you starting to think that you could actually beat Russia?
We are seeing all the evidence of that. We're seeing as they are exhausting themselves trying to attack my whole country at the same time. We are seeing as their weapons and their munitions are falling to us. We're seeing as multiple of their columns of their soldiers are essentially destroyed. We basically see every chance that we can to try and be sure that Russians are fighting this battle without understanding why they're fighting this battle. And for us, we have no choice but to continue and to fight on because we're fighting for their existence.
Now, meanwhile, of course, Russia's trying to starve out some of your cities. It's also trying to encircle Kyiv, where you are. How are conditions in the capital? How are you going with food and water and things like that?
Nothing is enough, nothing is too much. The reality is life has been upside down in every direction that you look at. Basically, our story now is a story of preparation for the siege of Kyiv, and Russians are unable to siege our city because the fact of the matter is they cannot cut our supply lines to the west and to the south, which we are fighting back for every single day. Myself visiting those cities on that road shows to me that our resistance there in every capacity is strong, and we will not allow Russians to siege the city. We have pushed out whatever skirmish forces they sent into Kyiv itself, and we'll continue to push them out, and no matter what Russia throw at us, we'll keep to our capital because, again, we cannot give up on our central city.
Now, other cities, of course, in the south and the east are doing it much harder. The Russians have surrounded some of them, and we now see the Russians just showering the suburbs of Mykolaiv with missiles and mortars. These are war crimes, surely.
Yes, exactly. And you can look yourself at all the images coming out of residential buildings being shelled, or residential buildings being hit by rocket fire or cruise missiles fired at them. The reality, and all the images of children and civilians and killed all my country. The reality is that Russia doesn't really want the world to see the facts on the ground, and it's closing down its population. Russia is shutting off the internet in Russia from the 11th of March just to let Russians be without understanding what's actually happening on the ground. And the fact of the matter is, what's happening on the ground is a horrible travesty that Russia's making without any cause or pretext. And as far as those crimes, they have plenty to answer for after the war. And Putin's regime is finally showing its true face as an institution that truly disregards any rules of engagement that exist in the international community.
In contrast, I see you saved a dog from a home in Irpin that had been bombed by the Russians. I'm out of time, but just quickly, why was it important to you to do that?
Well, I wasn't faced with much of a choice. It's either getting the dog or the dog being killed. So the point is that basically it's the only humane thing to do is to take the dog. And the fact of the matter is that we are fighting for that humanity to be maintained in Ukraine. And to do this is to showcase that, again, we are a humane nation desiring for humane end to all of this. And this is civil society to truly be civil once again.